start to redo the melody and shape it so it would work. So you're the composer, so you can change notes here and there. You don't have to keep it exactly the way you want. So I talked to you about the fact that I thought you had a lot of verses. That's a lot of music, right? She's saying, can I have the same singer just sing the same music over and over again? I said, do you have the same amount of syllables in each line? No. This one has 13, this one has 14, this one has 15. But I said, it is possible, maybe if one line, you have a 12-syllable line, and then the next time you sing it, there's 13, maybe you could make a half note 2/4 or something. You see that all the time in pop songs. It's tricky because you have to actually sit there and go, sometimes rewrite.
I don't understand what you're saying.
If you've got, like, let's say the...
Oh, you make one syllable a half note or something?
Yeah, here, you've got only as 2/4 notes. And then in the next verse,
You need one less beat.
You can do
it's the words, but I am. So you have 3 words that meet there. So you take the 1/4 note, split it into 2/8, and so first time it's only, right? But I am.
So you just kind of like speed it up the next time around. Well, not, I mean, you shorten the length of
Yeah,
the word.
you give, 1/4 note is always equal to 2/8, and so, and you could even put something into a triplet if you really felt that it would sound good. But, and then sometimes when you get fewer syllables, the people will take like 2/4 notes, and then the next verse write it as a half note, because they just need one. And that way you can still keep the basic shape of the melody, but it's rhythmically changing just a little bit. The only thing you do have to watch that your stress points are the same, because I know a traditional poem, they keep a da 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 da. That's the same in all the verses, but modern poetry tends to not do that. So if you just plug the new words in, sometimes it doesn't make any sense.
Have you ever found anybody cheat on this? Have you ever found someone, that's this melody I heard?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you. I was singing it to someone yesterday, and they said, that sounds like a commercial. So what if subconsciously I picked up something, and I don't,
McCartney.
and I didn't know I
Mine-
picked it up?
Mine actually sounds more like a bugle call than anything.
Or, I don't know, mine's not.
I really. So do 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 so do do.
I've never heard
Okay.
It's probably just yeah.
Okay.
No,
But anyway,
I know what you're talking
It's
about.
stuck in our head, and we don't know it.
It's possible, but also a lot of times it's not really far from something. Or what they're saying is a snippet of it sounds like a commercial or something. So you can't keep second guessing. You just have to eventually say, go ahead. I mean, it's okay to say what commercial, and then listen and say, is that mine or not? But the odds are it's not. So. But you do hear that quite a bit. Oh, that sounds like this, or this sounds like that. But you're always going to have that. I told you, Paul McCartney, when he wrote Yesterday, he wrote it so quickly he thought he subliminally picked it up. So 6 months he spent playing it. Every party, played for everybody on the piano. All he had was the music, no words. Saying, have you heard this? Have you heard it? And finally, 6 months later, George Martin said, Paul, nobody's heard it. Just put some words to it.
I just played that yesterday.
It was originally Scrambled Eggs. Baby, don't I love your legs?
Okay.
I wonder why he changed it with a great line like that, but he did. He just had scrambled eggs so he could remember the melody. And George Martin, their producer, arranged several Beatles songs as instrumental and conducted the London Philharmonic recording. So when he arranged Yesterday, on the record it says scrambled eggs, because that's what McCartney called it for singing. Okay, any other question? All right, just, sorry, it's kind of a short time limit. If you ever want to be a professional composer or commercials, get used to it. You're lucky I gave you a week. No. They're notorious for, we need it right now. Is there any way we could get that tomorrow or by the end of the day or something?
At the end of the day.
Then when they're paying a lot of money for stuff, they really, it's tricky. The first commercial job I got writing TV commercials was only because I was fast. Not because nobody ever said I was good. They just said he's very fast. He could turn this out really quickly, so they hired me. Chapter 12 on page 337, the close of the 19th century, the beginning of new directions. We're still in the late Romantic period, but these are little things that are kind of aiming at modern music. He starts with a review of traditional harmony. Okay. Tonality. We still have tonality. Number 2, scale system. We're still using scales. Major, minor scales. Keys. We're still doing that. Chords. We're still building our triads and thirds. Inversion. We're still having things root, third, or fifth in the bass. Chord succession. We're still using one chord, going to the next chord logically rather than randomly. 7, non-harmonic tones. We're still allowed using melody notes that are not part of the chord. Melody lines still constructed so each tone kind of hints at a chord or the chord harmonizes the melody. 9, the rhythmic patterns are usually organized into metric units, duple, triple, quadruple. And harmonic rhythm, the frequency at which the harmonies change, has a pattern all its own that's fairly steady until you get to a cadence. The late Romantic period, the tonality begins to break down in a number of ways, and he's going to talk about a couple of things. On page 339, chromatic third relationship. You've heard me talk about this. I almost wish he had this a little earlier in the book, because it may not be too late for you to add this in your project. Do you remember I said the Romantic composers, late Romantics, became enamored with the root movement by third, and they discovered something like this. They said, well, let's say we're on a C, so I could make the chord C, E, G, or C, E flat, G, or A, C, E, or A, C sharp, E, F, A, C, F, A flat, C. All of those chords have a C in them. And because when you go down a third, you'll end up with that note. So they're thinking that note can be harmonized with C, E, G, or C minor. It could also be A minor. Oh, I'm sorry, not A major. What would it have to be here to be a C natural? A flat. Yeah. So C major, C minor, A minor, A flat major, F minor. So they began to say, is that relationship of having the C in both chords enough to hold it together? So they tried things like this. So here's C, E, G with the C in the melody, and then A flat, C, B flat with the C in the melody. F minor. And what they did, they said it sounded heroic, or there was something spiritual lift that they felt in the music. And so they not only experimented with freely borrowing chords that were a chromatic third away. And by chromatic third, it doesn't matter, major third, minor third, it doesn't matter. They not only freely experimented with borrowing the chords that were a chromatic third away, but also they loved modulating a third. Major or minor third, it didn't matter. They thought that if you were in the key of E, the C, and you modulated to E flat, that you still felt that heroic lift.